Hi, you've made it to week 5 of the No Motivation series. If you're unfamiliar and you just clicked on this video because the title sounded cool or whatever, then hey, you've made it to week 5 of a 10-week series. We're halfway through. This No Motivation series is teaching you very slowly how to change your behavior, because oftentimes we blame ourselves for not being able to live the life that we want to live. But in reality, there's a lot going on inside our brains that makes it really hard to stay motivated, to stay disciplined and committed while you work towards the goals that you want to see in your life. So that's what this No Motivation series is for. Maybe you aren't reaching the goals that you want to reach, the goals that you're setting for yourself, because you just don't have the skill set yet. Maybe it's not the grit, maybe it's just your skills. So this week, we are going to continue the No Motivation series. Last week, we talked about visualization, and I have my notes down here. And also, for those of you that are just now joining us, these videos are completely raw. I take them in one shot, and I have like 6 bullet points. So just a very free connection between the two of us right here, right now. And if you are not okay with this pace, then please, on your if you're watching on YouTube, you can actually fast forward this. So if you change your settings to 2 times the speed or 1.75, you get all of the information, but without all of the pauses in between. So last week we talked about visualization and why that's important. I have a link below that will bring you to that video if you missed it, and all of the previous videos if you're just now joining us. And then this week, we're talking about loving language. Because although we might not believe it, loving language and being able to speak kindly to yourself while you are setting off on a goal, working towards something, is powerful. The way that we talk to ourselves whenever we're trying to achieve something makes a huge difference. Right now, since you're watching this and since you're struggling with creating a change in your life, you are probably a little like me in that when you, or me in the past, not so much what I do now, but I would be so mean to myself whenever I was trying to accomplish a goal. If I made a mistake, I really pointed it out, and I thought that by being mean to myself, it was going to put a little fire under my bum, and I was going to be more motivated. So dang it, Chelsea, you didn't go on a freaking run today. You are being lazy. You suck. You are, you're a disappointment. And I was using that language to make myself feel better in some way for missing the run, or I was using that language in order to make myself feel bad enough that I actually went and did the run. But did that ever work? No, it just made me want to stop my goal altogether. And even the week after this, we'll go into this further. I'm excited about we're going over mindset. So this is a little different. It's definitely similar to mindset and falls within that realm and that space. But this is more unique in that it is loving language, how we speak to ourselves. And then next week we talk about like the mindset shifts that you can use apart from loving language. Also, my dog is getting excited because there's stuff out of the window. In case you hear anything in the background, it's a dog. All right, so that's the reason why we need to use kind language, because the going hard on ourselves doesn't work. And obviously, if you're here, it hasn't worked for you in the past, and so it probably won't work for you in the future. So we're moving on to something different. We're using our curiosity, and we are learning about loving language and seeing if that makes a difference in our ability to achieve our goals. So today we're going to, I could go even deeper into this, and I'll link a 40-minute video that I have about the negative chatter in our minds, because I spent some time talking about that too. You can find that in the description. But for today, we're keeping it simple, and we're talking about 3 different ways that you can use loving language. The first one is celebrating your wins. We'll talk about that a little today. We'll talk about focusing on what's going well right now. So focusing on your bright spots, which we talked a little bit about in week 1, but we're going to go in depth and use that as like a daily practice while you're reaching your goals. And then finally, we're going to talk about a couple of things that mesh together. So a growth mindset, curiosity, and using those 2 things to challenge negative beliefs that pop up in your head. Those are some ways that you can speak kindly to yourself, and we will talk about those very shortly. Before that though, if you like my plants, this guy over here, this one, if you like any of my plants, please hit the like button and tell me that you like my plants. And you could also hit the like button if you genuinely like this video and got some value out of it. And by doing that, you are supporting my page and also helping me get more free health information out there for those who need it. Again, it's free. It's absolutely, this 10-week series. Some of this stuff is, actually all of this stuff is what I work on with my clients, and this is all absolutely free. If you want to join the No Motivation series and this is your first time hearing of it, you can follow me on Instagram at Love with Gels, where I will talk about the content that I post every single week and also open it up for questions. There you can also DM me if you have any questions about the No Motivation series, and also subscribe to me on YouTube so you can get notified anytime I post a new video and you can see it in your feed, so you can stay consistent with learning these skill sets week after week for 10 weeks. Well, 5 more after this, really. All right. So starting with number 1. Number 1 is celebrating your wins. Recently, I had a closing ceremony for another coaching session that I was actually a part of. I was not the coach, I was being coached, and it was such a beautiful experience. But during that closing session, the coach, I always preach celebrating your wins, but she put it in such beautiful and just a really nice way to think about it. So by celebrating your wins, what you're doing well, and what I'm talking about is, if you did do that workout, or maybe you didn't work out, but you put on your workout clothes that morning, and that feels like a small accomplishment, but that's still something you can celebrate. Celebrating your wins, she said, is not hurting anyone. It's not hurting you. It's not hurting the people around you. It doesn't change anything about what you did other than how you feel about it. So by celebrating your wins, even if it's something that is so freaking tiny, like you saw a bird in the morning and that you wanted to celebrate that because that was such an exciting part of your day, or you did choose to eat something healthier rather than something that you weren't that wasn't on your diet plan or something like that. Or even if you were sticking to your diet plan, and we can talk about this more, but I'm trying to keep these videos short, but you were sticking to your diet plan and then you allowed yourself to have a cupcake or to have something sweet without feeling totally guilty because you knew that it's natural and that you deserve to have something every now and then, and you deserve to eat what you feel after you learn how to listen to your body appropriately to where it is healthy. But there's a lot of different things that you can celebrate, and by celebrating them, you are not making them go away, or you're not putting some curse on them. Like, now you celebrated that and it was such a tiny thing that, good things aren't going to happen anymore. You can celebrate these things for free without any repercussions, I guess. So celebrate those wins in order to keep motivating yourself to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself. All right. Is there anything else I want to say more about celebrating your small wins? The reason why this is helpful, the reason why it helps, it's a loving language that helps push you towards the goals that you want to see in your life, is because it's kind of like that feeling you get when you're marking off tasks that you're doing on your checklist, and you get that like rush of just feeling so good because you marked off that task. You get that same feeling whenever you're celebrating your small wins, and that energy pushes you to do the next thing, the next small thing, the next big thing. It excites you, and it brings you a sense of satisfaction, so you're more likely to do that thing again because you feel so good about it. And honestly, there's nothing too small that you can celebrate. There's nothing too big, and learning how to incorporate this into your life is, for lack of better words, life-changing. It does change your life and the way that you work towards your goals. Number 2, focusing on what's going well right now. So this is similar to celebrating your wins, except you are focusing more on what is going well. So this could be your strengths. Whenever you're trying to achieve a goal, focusing on your strengths instead of focusing on the things that you're not good at, and maybe using those strengths to help you become better at the things that you're not good at. And of course, accepting that you don't have to be good at everything. So just focus on the things that you do really well and figure out how to incorporate that into what you're trying to learn. You can also focus on the bright spots by reflecting on your goals every week and noticing what went well and doing more of that. Doing that, focusing on what is going well, is going to add a sense of play to your goals and to your journey, your health journey. And it's going to make you a little more excited to continue to work on them, because this is no longer a serious, this is what I have to do, and if I don't do it, bad things are going to happen. And of course, there's some of that weight behind some of our goals, but it brings more of a lightheartedness, a playfulness, something that's actually fun, because I truly believe that on your journey to your goal is so much more important than the actual destination. The journey is going to teach you so much more. So finding some play in that and focusing on the bright spots, what's going well. This will help you stay disciplined and committed to your goals. And finally, reframing and challenging negative beliefs. This is where we're going to bring some curiosity into play and a little bit of a growth mindset. So whenever we're starting something new, like changing our lifestyle, changing our life, we often are a little overwhelmed by all of the different, by just having to make this change. Like, there's so many different thoughts that go around making this change. And a lot of those thoughts are negative. Like, okay, well, I didn't do it in the first 3 days, so I'm not gonna do it at all. Or I'm not really good at this, so I don't think I can achieve this goal. Or I don't like doing this, and so I am gonna force myself to do it, even though I don't enjoy it. So challenging those negative thoughts or those negative beliefs with curiosity. One, remembering that your brain is like a muscle. You can learn new ways of being, and sometimes it does require some support from like a therapist or a coach or a friend. And also, when those negative beliefs come up for you, approaching them with curiosity instead of really clinging to them and making them your identity. So instead of So instead of hearing a negative belief that you have in your mind and then holding on to it and telling yourself, yeah, that's that's who I am. I'm just the type of person that gives up when things get hard. Challenge that with some curiosity. Ask yourself, okay, well, what makes me say that? Did someone tell me that before and that's why I believe that? Is there proof behind this? And even if there's proof behind this, does that apply to who I am today in this moment? Use curiosity to challenge those negative beliefs. So those are the 3 things that I have for you today. Celebrating your wins, not hurting anybody, focusing on what's going well, looking for those bright spots and moving towards them, and then reframing and challenging your negative beliefs. Of course, this is a simplified version of all of these things, and to really get an in-depth feeling of like how to apply this to your life, you can ask me in the DMs and I can help guide you through a specific situation, or you can even is my favorite word today, isn't it? You can start meeting with a coach or a therapist who can help you reflect and create a plan for whatever behavior change you have using some of these skill sets and techniques. All right, so finally, as I get my words together, if you are an artist or creative, I want to get to know you. So follow me on Instagram, subscribe, make yourself known, introduce yourself to me because I haven't found you yet, apparently. Or maybe I did. Maybe we know each other. If you're an artist or a creator, I'm working on a 90-day program for artists and creators that helps them create a foundation for a healthy lifestyle. And before I actually hit the ground running with this program, I still need some more, just a deeper look inside the life of what it's like to be an artist or a creator. I know from my own experience, but I want to hear what's going on for you. So if you are an artist or creator and you genuinely want to live a healthy lifestyle, or you want to learn more about self-acceptance and self-expression, expressing yourself creatively, then there is a link below where you can schedule a consultation with me. And whether this consultation leads to actually working together or it just leads to a great conversation that I can use to build better programs and build better free content, either way, it's totally fine. And I would just love to get to know who you are. This is female artists and creators because the program is specifically created for women. And finally, next week, like I said, we're going to be working on mindset shifts. So that one's going to be very juicy, and I'm really excited for that. And then after that, we actually begin to start practicing these skill sets using some basic health guidelines. So creating just a foundation for like the bare minimum health. And we're going to do that with the last 4 or 5 weeks. All right, this was another long episode, and I will try to keep them shorter next time. There's just so much information when it comes to mindset. So I'm signing off now. Again, feel free to like and subscribe to help grow my channel and to help get more of this information out to other people. If you're an artist, I want to meet you and hear from you so we can start creating a community. And finally, if you have any questions, do message me on Instagram and not Facebook because I do not check those messages. All right, it was great talking to you again, and woohoo, celebrating that we made it through 5 weeks, halfway through the No Motivation series. I'll see you next week.